The beat on the beat.
To a stylish life. My name is ShaKayla Diamond, and today the video that I'm bringing you is all about the life as a fashion major and as an art student. I wanted to touch on this topic for a long time because as a fashion major myself and as a art student that goes to an art school, I feel very strongly about this topic. I feel like there is so much negativity put on being a art student and going to an art school, and I feel like there's so much negativity that's put towards artists in general and creatives. So I really wanted to make a video to touch on this topic because, you know, there's other art students out there as well, fashion majors specifically as well, and they may be watching this video. And even if you're neither of those, if you're just a person that is a student or a person in general, you may have said these negative things to an art student, and by watching this video you can see that they are negative. So I want to just go ahead and get right into the video. So first I wanted to start off by talking about why I love being a fashion major. I love everything about fashion. I always have, I always will. I thrive off of gaining more knowledge about my industry and learning more and being around people who are in my industry as well, whether that's attending events, whether that's going to Fashion Week, or anything else surrounding fashion. I also love, as a wardrobe stylist, being on set. Literally I thrive off of that. Like, I feel so in my element when I'm on set, whether that's video shoot or photo shoot. I thrive off of that chaos, even though it is very stressful at times. I love it, and the end product is always beautiful. It's just beautiful to be a part of something and make something beautiful come alive, and an idea be created and be able to bring to life. So I've always had a passion for fashion and a passion for the fashion industry, and that's why I love it. And for loving going to an art school, I like to go to an art school because I'm surrounded by other artists. I'm surrounded by people who get it, people who get the creative process, people who understand that it's not easy, people who understand that your work is more than just the end product, that there's so much that goes into getting something done or creating a project or releasing something new. Like, there's so much more to it that a lot of people who are not creatives will never understand. Just like with being an entrepreneur, people who are not entrepreneurs do not understand the struggle and the ups and downs that go into that. They don't understand how you have to make very strategic decisions and how it's not easy. So another entrepreneur can relate to that because they're going through it, but somebody else who's not an entrepreneur can't relate to that. Just like if you're not an artist, you may not be able to relate to another artist. So I love going to an art school to be around people who get it. Like I said, people who understand the struggle, people who loved all types of art, because although I am a fashion major, I'm very interested in visual arts as well. Like, I love museums, I love going to art galleries, like I love going to open mic nights. And I'm not, you know, like a singer or a rapper or anything else, but I love going to those events because I'm able to see other people talk about their passion and bring and perform the work that they've been working on. So I literally just love being surrounded by artists because most artists, they don't care what other people think. They're not there to please people. They're doing what they love, and a lot of the times it's not about the money. They're just doing it because they genuinely love it, and that's what I love about being around other artists and attending an art school. Next, I want to go into the struggles of being an art student, because there are a lot, and I'm not talking about fashion majors specifically. I'm talking about all art students, all art majors, fashion studies being included in that, but all of them in general, because there is a struggle that goes into that. The first struggle that I want to talk about, which I will say the biggest, and all of these are really like outer struggles. I don't think that there are some struggles as the student with going to the school, but there's more struggles on how people view arts. So the first one is that people think that the art industry is a frivolous industry. They think that it's easy to do, that it doesn't take hard work, that you can't have a great career in it, and that it's a hobby, not a career. And they think that art is not a big deal and it's very limiting. And all of these things are false. You can have an amazing career in the arts industries and make great money. A lot of people, like adults and parents, they deter their children from going into the arts because they're like, no, you need to get a real career. You can't be broke all of your life. You don't make money off of arts. And that is not true. And they think that it's a frivolous industry and that it's just a hobby, but there's so much hard work that goes into being an artist, like trying to do marketing, promotion, figure out strategic ways to grow your business and your arts, and trying to make connections, trying to figure out what you can do to take yourself to the next level, like finding inspiration. Like that's one huge thing that we have to do. Inspiration doesn't always just come. We get creative blocks. Like it's times where we are so uninspired that we don't know what to do. And we have to figure out what can we do to get back in our grooves to create, and finding ways that we can, you know, stay motivated, because sometimes it does get hard. And then it's also like, this isn't like a normal thing to do. Like being an artist is normal, but everybody's projects and artistry is different. So you may be creating something that's out of the ordinary or not normal, and a lot of people won't understand it. So trying to make projects that you are still happy with and not trying to confine to what people are able to understand. So people think that it's so easy, and it's not. People think that when you're an artist that you don't know anything but how to be an artist, and that's not true. It's so many of us who are doing so many other things besides just being an artist. But if we were just being an artist, it's just as great as if you were going to school to be a doctor. It's just as hard. It takes just as much work. It takes just as much studying to get it done. It takes just as much doing homework and assignments. Actually, I would kind of say that a lot of our I can speak for me personally at my school, a lot of our projects are so much more like tedious than a lot of other majors. Like as a marketing student, I have, because marketing is my minor, I have projects that I'm working with other brands. I'm changing their whole marketing plan. Like there's semester long projects. And although we don't get exams that often, we get projects that are just as big or even bigger. So it's not a frivolous industry. It's not easy. It's more than a hobby. You can definitely make a career out of being an artist, whether that's a singer, a rapper, a songwriter, a producer, an engineer, a fashion designer, a fashion marketer. Like there's so much that goes into being an art student that people just do not understand. And it's so ignorant when people make comments and try to discredit the work that you put in as an artist, and try to discredit what it takes to be an artist, and try to discredit the fact that we matter. Like people act like the arts industry is like non-existent. But when I'm going to talk about fashion specifically, people think that fashion is easy and that it's something very small, but no. The arts are in the furniture that you have in your homes, the buildings that you live in, the chairs in your school, the pencils that you write with, the covers of the textbooks, everything. In sports, the jerseys that people wear, the designing of the actual stadium, the designing of the merchandise, all of it. Like fashion, the designing of the logo. Arts is literally in everything. Even your plain white t-shirts that you get from Walmart, yes, that is a part of the fashion industry too. That's fashion. The underwear that you wear, the shoes that you have on, that is all a part of the fashion industry. Fashion is a $1 trillion industry. Fashion is one of the largest industries in the world. That's why many music artists or people in other forms, like people in sports and athletes, they try to create something in fashion as a stream of income, because it's a very, very, very financially great industry. Like, there's so much money in the fashion industry, and fashion is literally everywhere. So when people try to say that fashion and art don't matter, without fashion and art, half the things that we have would not be here, such as the things that you watch on TV, the camera that I'm using to record this, things like YouTube. Like, that's all a part of the arts, and without art you wouldn't have any of those things. So when people try to make comments and say that this is a frivolous industry, no, it's not. You're just ignorant, because you don't know what all goes into it. You're thinking on the outside looking in. Like, people try to, and then with me more specifically, people always try to ask questions like that are, in my opinion, dumb. Like, asking questions that's kind of hinting towards, like, what do you do in class? Like, do you just create all day? Like, do you just sit there and make things? No. One, I'm not a fashion designer. Two, if I was, there's lectures and assignments and homework and written work and textbooks that we have to read and look at and do in order to be a fashion student or to be an art student. We don't just go to class and sing songs and design things and put things together. That's not it. Anything that you do in another school, in another major, we do at art schools as well. So it's very stupid for you to ask those kind of like passive aggressive questions, like, what do you actually do there? And then even when somebody asks, what do you do, or what's your career, they act like, I don't know, they act like being a fashion designer, in fashion more specifically, is the only thing that you can do. And it's like, no, there's so many careers in the fashion industry that you might be like, come on, there's so many different careers. Like, you can be an accountant in the fashion industry, you can be a market researcher in the fashion industry. They're hiring anthropologists in the fashion industry. They're hiring doctors in the fashion industry. You can be a fashion lawyer. Like, you can be a person who just specifically goes and scouts people. You can be an agent in the talent industry, in the fashion and arts world. Like, there's not just one career in this. And when you explain to someone what you do, they try to make it like, oh, that's easy. No, it's not. It's just as hard as if I was going to go do open heart surgery. Like, come on, it takes just as much work, just as much dedication, just as much groundwork, if not more, because I just can't go apply to a hospital and just, that's my job. No, like, you have to literally work your butt off in order for you to be successful, and it never stops growing. And the fashion industry is a dog eat dog world. It's probably one of the toughest industries in the entire world, and it's not easy, never will be, especially if you're really trying to go somewhere, really trying to do things, really trying to take your things to the next level. It's not easy. Especially when a lot of black people do not support black people in the fashion industry. That's why the fashion industry is so white, and a lot of people only decide to support people in the black people in the fashion industry when somebody like Gucci does blackface. But besides that, y'all not stunning us, y'all not trying to support us, y'all not trying to hire us. And like I spoke about in one of my last videos, is you can reach a hand back and bring another person up, and that's how you create more seats at the table for black creatives. Like, people think that it's so hard to support a black creative, but no, you guys just do not understand, and you don't try to either. So I could literally go on a whole tangent about this, but it just really irritates me that people think that being a fashion major or art major or being at an art school is so easy and just something that everybody can do. Because no, if you were to switch places with me and go to my school, you wouldn't know what you were doing at all, because I've worked hard and I understand my particular industry, so I'm able to do this work. And then even if I was to switch to go to your industry, it's not to say that I would know what I'm doing, because that's your industry, but I would never try to discredit what somebody else does in their industry just because I don't understand, and just because of what I think my perception of that is, because a lot of people just are very ignorant, and it's very rude, like very, very rude. The next thing is the naysayers. That kind of goes into the last things I was just talking about, but trying to discredit how smart you are. When you're a fashion student or that you go to an art school, they think that you're dumb. They think that you don't know how to do everyday things. They think that you don't know anything about any other industries like politics, or, you know, what's happening in the media, or that you know how to do math, or, you know, anything. They don't think that you read. Like, no. Like me, for example, I'm a very smart person, very, very smart, and I'm very big on self-knowledge, and I'm very big on being self-sufficient in my education. I research everything. I know a lot about a lot of things. Not to say that I know everything, because I don't, but I'm always learning, in school and out. And I don't just learn about the fashion industry. I could sit with somebody and have a whole conversation about anything. I can sit and have a conversation about politics. And a great conversation at that. And have a conversation with somebody about finance, about how to grow their business, about how to start a business, all types of things. And people think that when you're an art student or a fashion major, more specifically in my case, that you don't know anything. And that's not true, and it's very ignorant for people to make those assumptions, because just because fashion is my career doesn't mean, one, that that's my only career, that will be the only thing that I'm going to do, because no. That will never be the only thing that I'm going to do. But if it was, I'm still smart in other topics. I still can sit and talk you under a table about so many things. Like, I'm very smart, and it's so ignorant for people to discredit how smart you are just because of what they think your field is, or to think that that's the only thing that you know. By something rude, as an example, is asking, do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do it? Like, those are the times where you have to slide your credentials across the table and slide your brain smarts across the table to tell people no. Don't make an assumption about what I know how to do because of who you think I am. And a lot of the time, people think that you're stupid just because you like to look good. No. I can be smart and look good at the same time, unlike many. Just because you can be smart or think that you're smart, but then you don't know how to dress, doesn't mean that it has to be one way or the other. I can look good and still be very smart and still do any job just as good as if I was to not put effort into how I look. But people think that if you care about how you look, that you don't know anything and that that's all you care about. No. Just because I care about how I look does not mean that that's all that I care about. That will never be all that I care about. That's actually very shallow to want to just care about how you look. And people think that you cannot multitask or be multi-talented. Like, no. People need to give Black artists credit when it's due. And even if it's not due, give them credit, because people discredit us so much on what we know. Especially, like, if you're a certain age, people try to discredit what you know. Try to say, oh, it's easy for you. You don't know anything. You could do this. You're fine. You're not... Some people depressed. You're not depressed. You're blah, 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 blah. You're so young. You have your whole life ahead of you. Just because I have my whole life ahead of me does not mean that I either A, don't know something, or that I don't have struggles. Like, that doesn't mean that. It's just all about, people need to stop making assumptions. And the biggest thing that irritates me, and this is my pet peeve, when people try to discredit me because of who they think I am. Like, you would actually be stupid to do that to me. Like, I'm very layered. There's so many things about me. So many. And if you're judging me based off of how I look, I'm Hennessy in a teacup. Literally. So don't ever be confused on who you think I am just because of what you see on the outside, or what you think that I know just because of what you see on the outside, because I'm Hennessy in a teacup, and then you will be very confused if you drink it and it doesn't taste like tea. So I just had to say that. The next thing, but overall, it's just annoying when people, one, try to discredit you and think that art is all that you know how to do and that you can't be versatile, whether that's talking about other topics, knowing about other topics, being smart in different industries. You can be an art person or a creative from 5 to 9 and be a doctor from 9 to 5 or whatever, and do them both at the same time. Like, that's how That's how crazy it is when people try to say that we can't do something, because no, that's not. You can be creative and still be smart. Like, that's the main thing. You can be creative and be smart. And I don't know why people find that so hard to believe or so hard to fathom. But another one is that people think that your college experience is easier and that you're just gliding through. And even if you have good grades, they think that it's because that your classes are easy. No. I'm going to tell you, from a person who has, my last semester, I got a 3.6 GPA. I got that because I'm smart. Period. I didn't get it because classes were easy. I didn't get it because I sit in class and create all day, because I don't. I didn't get it because we don't do anything in class. I got it because I'm smart. Period. It's not hard to do good in school. Okay, it's not hard. If you put the work in to be good in school, you will be good in school. But it does take hard work. But it's not far from real to be smart as an art student. Like, it's just really not. And people really think that, and it's really crazy. Like, we do real work, real huge projects, multiples of them. So we do real work. It's not just making and creating. If anything, making and creating and producing something is probably the smallest percentage of what we do in class, literally. So don't think that art students are not smart, because I'll be the first to tell you I have a 3.6 GPA. My last semester, I think I have a 3.5 cumulative over my past 4 years. So it's possible to be smart, and it's not because our classes are easy. It's because we're smart, just like anybody else in any other major at any other school. We're smart. That's all it is to it. And another thing is that they think you're gliding through. Like I just, in my previous point, we're not. We're just smart. We work hard while still creating our portfolio, and out here, if we're a singer, going to open mic nights and doing all of these things. If we're a fashion stylist like me, a wardrobe stylist and creative director, getting internships, doing photo shoots, scheduling closet consultations, doing what we have to do to get our name out there, as well as be smart. It's possible to do them both at the same time. We don't just say, oh, we're in school, that's it. No. People like me, for example, yes, I'm in school, but I will never say I'm just a student. No, I'm not just a student. I have a career that I'm growing as well. Multiple businesses that I'm growing as well. I'm not just a student. I'm building my portfolio and going to school at the same time. And many art students are doing that. Mostly all of us are doing that. We're not just saying, okay, I'm a student, I'll figure it out once I graduate. No. So please stop with being rude. And if you've ever done any of these things that I've mentioned to an art student, don't ever do it again, because it's rude as hell. It really is. And I know for me personally, a lot of people do it to me, and it really bothers me. Like, it really does, because I'm probably smarter than you, and I'm not just smart in one thing or two or three or four or five for that matter. I'm smart in a lot of things. So the next point is that as big this thing is here, I know some people don't mean any harm, but it really bothers me when people ask if you're a fashion, like when people ask what I go to school for, and I say I'm a fashion student, I usually tell them fashion, business, and marketing. But they swear I'm a fashion designer. People swear that the only thing to do in the fashion industry is be a designer. And as I stated previously, there's many jobs that you can do in the fashion industry, and design is just one of them. But no, I'm not a fashion designer. No, I cannot make you anything. I can't. I'm sorry, I cannot. If you're looking for somebody to make you something, I'm not your girl. I'm just not. I don't sew, I don't sketch, I don't draw. I don't. And if I'm drawing or anything like that, it's for fun. I'm not a designer. I'm not. Stop making that assumption and just ask. So, if you're a fashion business student with a minor in marketing, what do you do? Or what would you like to do? Don't just say, oh, so you're a designer? No, I'm not. You don't ask a student going to school for medicine, oh, so you're going to be a pediatrician? No, that's not the only job in being a doctor. No, I'm not. Just ask. Oh, so you're going to school for fashion? What are you going to do? Oh, you're going to school, you're going to medical school? Okay, what are you going to do with that? Simple as hell. Just ask. Don't make assumptions. Like, that's irritating. Don't make assumptions. Just ask me, what am I going to be doing? And then when I tell them I'm going to be a wardrobe stylist and creative director, then you have to go into it. I know that everybody doesn't, especially with the fashion industry, everybody does not know anything about the fashion industry. And a lot of what people do know is that, oh, okay, I could go get a shirt from Forever 21. Like, that's literally, not even to throw shade or be rude, but like, that's literally what a lot of people know. Oh, I could go do this, and yeah. They think very small of the fashion industry, but that's not the case. But when I explain to them that I'm a wardrobe stylist and creative director, I have to go into what that is. I'm like, well, I would be the person who, you know, would dress someone for the red carpet or dress them for a photo shoot or blah, blah, blah. People swear celebrities just pop up and be dressed. No, there's people who do that for them. I promise you, every celebrity has a wardrobe stylist. Every one of them. Even if it's not for their day-to-day, they have a wardrobe stylist. Half the clothes that you see them wearing on the red carpet or for video shoots, they don't own. They're pulled. That's what a wardrobe stylist does. He or she pulls clothes for them to wear. But you pull it, meaning it goes back after you're done. Everything that you see in these video shoots and photo shoots and stuff, they were dressed by a stylist. It's a stylist behind that. It's a creative director behind that concept. These artists and all these people who are on the forefront are not responsible for all of it. That's not it. And I feel like a lot of people do not credit stylists. When the stylists, they probably don't feel like they need that credit, because a lot of stylists are low-key and we just do our job because we love it. But y'all need to stop doing that. That celebrity is not just the person who's responsible. Yes, we feel great when somebody loves the outfit that we style, but people don't say that to their stylist. They don't say, oh, we loved it, blah, blah, blah. But they only credit the stylist when they think that the outfit is bad. In the worst dress and best dress list, you only see, you say best dress was, let's say for instance, Cardi B or something. If Cardi B was worst dress, they will attack her stylist. But if Cardi B was best dressed, they probably won't say anything to the stylist or about the stylist. But if she's worst dressed, they're like in the comments, who styled her? Why did she put that on? She needs to fire her stylist. But you're not mentioning the stylist when it look good. You're just saying, yes, Cardi B, go Cardi B. Like, no, that's not how that works. People are so annoying. But the main thing that really just irritates me is that when people assume that I'm a fashion designer. No, I'm not. I can't make you anything. Period. Like, I can't make you anything. Like, that's not what this is gonna be. And if you waiting on me to make you something, you're gonna be waiting for a long time. I'm sorry. But the last thing is having to always explain what you do for people to get it. And I just mentioned that, so I won't go back over it. But I always have to explain what I do and what that means and what is that, what is this and that and that and this, and it follows with so many questions. But when I say that I'm not a fashion designer, people just seem so confused. Like, so what are you? Fashion designing is not the only thing there is. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you got some tips. If you are not an art student or a fashion student, I hope that you got some tips on what not to say next time to a art student, because the things that you say are rude. I'm just going to be the first to tell you, I do experience it a lot. Sometimes, one thing I do want to touch on before I go is that I have also experienced, from going to a PW, I have experienced being discredited by another student. Okay, I know that's not abnormal, because that happens a lot with white people to black people. They try to discredit us and try to say that we don't know much. But I've actually had a girl in one of my classes say, do you not know how to do that? Like, trying to be funny. And usually I don't brag. I'm not a bragger. I don't care if you know what I've done or whatever. Like, I don't do things for the validation of other people. I could really care less. But I had to tell her, actually I have. Like, I didn't even get smart with her. I was like, yeah, actually I have multiple times. Like, we were dressing mannequins or whatever, and she was like, she was laughing, and she was like, have you ever done this? Because you do this. You don't do that, you do this. I said, actually I have multiple times, thank you. And then she walked away. But it's like, don't try to be vindictive, don't try to be passive aggressive, don't try to be funny. And then it wasn't even like I was overreacting, because another black girl who was actually my partner, so I don't even know how the other girl was talking to me to begin with, but she was like, I had to turn around because I didn't know what you were going to say to her. I didn't know, because it was so rude. She was like, I didn't know what you were going to say to her. I didn't know what was going to happen next, so I just turned the other way. But it's like, people will literally try to discredit, and that's not the only time that has ever happened to me. It's actually happened in different mediums. While going to a PWI, people think that you don't know anything. People think that you don't know as much as them because you don't brag. But I do more than just come to school and be a fashion student. I have a list of things that I've done. I just choose not to brag about them, and I choose not to act like I'm better than people, because I'm not. I still have a lot to learn. I still have more that I want to accomplish. I haven't even, for me, people think I've done a lot, and I have, but for me, I haven't even touched the surface of what I'm trying to get done. But sometimes you do have to slide your credentials across the table and tell them, baby, look, don't do that, because I've done more than you, baby girl, mind your business, because you will get slapped. Like, people just really are crazy. They really think that if you were not bragging, then you've never done it. Especially going to a PWI, it happens a lot. They really try to discredit you, like you're not supposed to be there, like you don't know what you're doing. But I've done more than you. I can do this with my eyes closed, and I've, like, this is not that, and that is not this. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and like I said, I hope that you learned some things on what not to say to our students, because it's rude as hell. And we do matter. We are smart. It takes more than enough hard work to get things done and to be in the arts industries. It's not easy. It's not easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. Like, it's not simple. We don't go to class and just create and put things together. Like, that's a very small percentage of what we do. So I hope that next time and going forward that you actually ask us questions and not make assumptions about who we are, and don't think that all we know how to do is to be artists, because a lot of us are smart as hell, including myself. And thank you guys for watching. Please turn on your post notifications so that you're notified every time that I upload a video. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you like what you see, and give this video a thumbs up as well. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.